Not ready.
Bring that. Bring that.
Not ready.
That's what we do. You got me.
You know this.
All right, John.
I'm not going nowhere.
Thank you,
5 rounds. Let's go.
I'm here. Hey, I'm in my prime, as you can see, and I got that dog in me. I don't know if you can see that, but I got a nice dog.
Prime,
so I'm ready to put on a show.
Prime,
I back myself every single time. I don't
just
need
make
10
money,
extra hours
shut up, and go
rehydration.
home.
The #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world with 14 wins out of 15 in the UFC and a dominant performance against every dude he beat, Islam Makhachev is a scary individual who further goes into beast mode when provoked by a cocky opponent, like the ones we're about to cover. As they say, these guys messed around and found out. For 2015 to 2019, Makhachev wreaked havoc in the UFC lightweight division as Khabib's sidekick, fighting 8 times with 7 wins and 1 loss. But after the Eagles' retirement in 2021, Makhachev enjoyed a massive push. The first opponent Makhachev fought immediately after Khabib's retirement was the tough as nails Drew Dober, who, like many in the MMA community, wasn't really sure if the hype was real.
I think he's a little bit more methodical than Khabib, and so I could see where the hype and the respect comes from. Do I entirely believe that it's he earned it or are people giving it to him? I'm not quite sure. So I get to see his temperament and his personality come weigh-ins, and then the first round of that fight, I get to see truly if he lives up to that hype.
The Dagestani proved that the hype was indeed real as he dominated Dober by taking him down early in every round and completely smothered him on the mat. Credit where it's due, Dober was able to hold his own on the mat for a considerable amount of time, but ultimately he was submitted late in the 3rd round. After the fight, Dober was gracious enough to admit that Islam truly was that guy.
I mean, I learned a lot from my fight with him. I mean, just he was able to dismantle my grappling wholeheartedly, and like I took a lot from it, both technically and mentally.
Unlike Dober, Dan Hooker still seems angry about his loss to Makhachev as he believes the Dagestani is a cheat. Now, the Kiwi took the fight against Islam Makhachev on short notice at UFC 267, ahead of which he was oozing with confidence.
People can say whatever they're going to say, like, oh, this guy's unbeatable, this guy's untouchable. I've been in the gym with these guys, you know, like they all bleed, they all get tired, they all get injured, they all get hurt, and I know I can put anyone's lights out. So to everyone else, he's kind of a mysterious character that's like got a lot of mystique and invincibility. To me, he's just another body. I feel like just if I go out there and show that I can grapple with him, people will. So even if it's like a grappling fight, the entire fight, and there's no like big flying knee knockout or finish or anything like that, I feel like if I go out there and I prove that to everyone that I can grapple with Islam Makhachev, that's like enough.
When the cage door closed, Hooker was unable to do both. Neither was he able to touch Makhachev because of the Russians' elite striking defense, nor was he able to hold his own in the grappling department. Instead, he was taken down and then submitted through a Kimura in the 1st round.
I feel very happy because I don't have injury, not sweating. I don't need to take shower after fights, you know.
Hooker was absolutely mad at the referee for an alleged premature stoppage. More on that later in the video. Now, after securing a dominant win against Hooker, Islam Makhachev battled the noisily Bobby Green, who talked a ton of trash heading into the fight.
With Islam, he does what he does, but to be honest, it's kind of boring. You know, even if he getting finishes, it's still been boring. And so my whole thing is entertainment, excitement, you know. So he can be championship material, but it's just boring. Nobody wants to see it. I fall asleep watching his fights. And then it's like, oh, there's the finish. And like, so they can show a bunch of finishes, which is cool. But it was sleeping, it was boring, it was lackluster.
Makhachev had little to say on the mic because he wanted to do his talking inside the cage.
We're gonna talk inside the cage. I'm gonna take him down and tell them, hey, let's go, get up.
So you'll be the one talking?
Yeah, I'm gonna talk. He gonna talk with me when we beginning striking, but when I'm gonna take him down, I'm gonna ask him a couple questions.
The two fighters locked horns at a UFC fight night in February in 2022, where early on, they traded calculated shots on the feet before Makhachev got in the clinch and downwards from there. On the mat, Makhachev was all over his opponent as he attempted submissions before pummeling him with punches from the top position to earn a TKO in the first round. Makhachev was so ridiculously strong that night that Green later claimed that something was wrong with him.
His school that he trained at in Russia, they just gave him vitamins, you know? They've been doing this since who knows when you start training. Imagine if you gave someone steroids from the age of 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, how strong you would be. People were like he was really strong. It makes sense now.
Despite the noise, Makhachev continued his dominant run when he fought Charles Oliveira at UFC 280, where the two lightweights battled for the belt. Heading into the fight, Oliveira was full of confidence and a bit mad with all the hype surrounding Makhachev, and he let his frustration out during pre-fight interviews.
Tempo inteiro buscando nocaute.
In truth, it's my history, it's my story. I mean, I have all the respect in the world for this guy, but I'm a sharpshooter. I'm going to keep pressing forward. I'm going to knock him out in the first round.
I have a very strong feeling that this is going to happen, that I'm going to knock out Islam Makhachev in the first round. And that's what's going to happen.
The two battled in the main event in Abu Dhabi, Makhachev's home away from home, where he ended up giving his best performance ever. The Dagestani managed to outstrike Oliveira on the feet and then took him down to the ground, controlling him for a considerable amount of time. In the second round, he even knocked Oliveira down, which set up the fight-ending sequencing, an arm triangle choke that forced a tap out from the People's Champion.
I know this guy have good jiu-jitsu, but I always told everybody, I don't care about his jiu-jitsu because I know my skills. Nobody around the world can make me trouble in the ground. That's why I know my skills and I know I can beat everybody.
Oliveira didn't have much to say.
Hoje, infelizmente, para mim foi um dia ruim.
You know, there's nothing much to say. He basically just got to do what he was. Today he was better than I was. He was able to do things and when I wasn't, and he was able to actually, you know, get his game going, which was basically, you know, put me down and work that. And I mean, there's nothing much to say as much as that.
A gente vai se encontrar de novo.
You know, there's nothing. We're fighters. That's bound to happen. There are days that, I mean, today Islam Makhachev was better than I was, and there are days that you're gonna be better than other people. There are days that they're gonna be better than you. Nothing much to do, and we're going to meet again.
In his first title defense, Makhachev locked horns with featherweight champion Alex Volkanovski, who was undefeated in the UFC when the two battled at UFC 284. The fight was an absolute war, with both fighters trading shots for 5 rounds. Makhachev's power advantage was visible throughout as he clipped Volkanovski a couple of times, but the Aussie's speed and agility troubled the dominant Dagestani, and Volk almost pulled off the upset when he cracked Makhachev with a big right hand late in round 5. The Russian somehow managed to survive and win by a controversial decision.
New. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, that's insane. Oh, really? That's insane. God. He got robbed. He got f***ing robbed.
I gotta see my $2,000.
No. If it went to decision, I wouldn't. What the f***? I still win my money.
Oh, but I still think Volk won that.
Volk won that fight.
We were convinced.
Even Volkanovski thought he won after he rewatched the fight. Here's what he tweeted, and I quote, "Just watch the fight. I definitely think I won rounds 2, 3, and 5. Surprised I didn't get my hand raised. Let's do the rematch anywhere, anytime." Now remember we talked about Dan Hooker's cheating accusations earlier in the video? In a series of tweets after Makhachev's win over Volkanovski, Hooker accused the lightweight champ of using intravenous therapy to replenish after weigh-ins, an illegal practice under USADA. Hooker said, and I quote, "Duck Hunt thinks he can fly to Australia and hire a nurse to give him an IV and we won't find out. Cheating dog. He doesn't cheat, he doesn't win. Islam is a cheat." Volkanovski and his coach Eugene Behrman also thought something was fishy.
178 to 180 I think he would have been. I've heard he gets up to like 180, like 83 kilograms close to, so could be, yeah, like, you know, you fill up pretty quick, you know, on the IVs and stuff like that.
Yeah, okay.
There's enough information there to be like, this is why Alex and the rest of the team are laughing. Because we're like, man, something's going on there. We just don't, you know, we just can't reliably say what it is.
Islam didn't care about the allegations though.
Не хочу, потому что у нас есть эксперты, которые работают в UFC. Это Усада, и меня до боя, после боя 4 раза проверяли. Кто-то выставлял там фотографию, что у меня была вена в синяке, но в Австралии у них своя комиссия была, которая брала кровь в неделю боя. Это было в среду, и фотографии начали выставлять, брать с четверга, где у нас была фотосессия. Так что я не знаю. Ну, это просто кто-то из бойцов раздувал эту тему воздушно, а со стороны UFC или USADA никаких вообще ничего не было.
With so much heat between the two camps, a rematch was imminent, and Volkanovski got his chance at vengeance on short notice at UFC 294 after Charles Oliveira pulled out due to injury. Now, because he thought he won their first fight at UFC 284, Volkanovski was even more confident heading into the second one.
I go out there, I plan on knocking him out. I'm sure he's gonna, I'm sure everyone might want to see a trilogy, so it just, again, adds to the story. So, I'm up for everything. The bigger the fights, the bigger opportunities, bring them on. You know what I mean? So, yeah, again, I'm planning on going out there and winning, and I guess we're going to have to settle it.
When the two entered the cage at UFC 294, Makhachev was obviously better prepared, as Volk only had 11 days notice for the fight. Islam quickly set Volkanovski up with a couple of crunching body kicks before landing one upstairs to knock the Aussie star out in 3 minutes. After the fight, an emotional Volk revealed how he made a massive mistake by fighting Makhachev on short notice.
I don't want to sit there and obviously make excuses, you know what I mean? So, obviously, I'm a big believer in preparation and stuff like that, but I back myself. So that's the decision I made. You know what I mean? There's I probably made decisions. I could have made better decisions but again, he's not somebody you should be taking a short notice.
With back-to-back title defenses, Makhachev either now wants to face Arman Tsarukyan, the man Makhachev already beat a few years ago.
So Islam, it's a different level fighter, but we fought 4 years ago. Now I was 22 years old. Now I'm 27. So guys, I got improved, and now next fight is gonna be different one. I'm gonna knock him out. That's it.
Or Justin Gaethje.
I know for a fact he's not Khabib, and I want to go in there and prove that.
Given that Tsarukyan wins his scheduled fight against Charles Oliveira and Gaethje emerges victorious against Max Holloway, things could get very interesting at lightweight. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel and check out another one here.